Ignition sequence start. All engines are running.
We have taken tremendous steps.
We choose to go to the moon before this decade is out.
We have achieved the earth-shaking, the breathtaking, the groundbreaking,
One small step for man.
and left a mark in the heavens. Our successes build one upon another and amplify what is possible.
The dawn of Orion.
It's time we take the next great leap.
This year is certainly turning out to be chock full of exciting surprises when it comes to space exploration. Elon Musk's SpaceX, in particular, continues its relentless pursuit of dominance in the space industry through its wide range of ventures. As if preparing for humanity's first voyage to Mars wasn't enough, the company has just announced plans to build and unveil a new base of operations on the Moon. This move has sent shockwaves through the industry. The following video explores this development in detail and highlights the potential impact of such a move.
Attention all operators on countdown 1. This is the final go, no go for flight 2 of Starship. Again, our T0 is at 7 a.m. Central. Raptor 1.
Go.
Raptor 2.
Go.
Stage 1.
Go.
Stage 2.
Go.
Copy, go for flight. Clock is rolling. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have liftoff.
Mankind hasn't set foot on the surface of the Moon in 52 years, with NASA's Apollo 17 being the last crewed mission to Earth's natural satellite. Since then, NASA hasn't deemed it necessary or efficient to spend the vast quantities of money it would take to send humans there, especially since lunar probes and rovers can do the exploring and data gathering at a fraction of the cost. However, in the long term, the American Space Agency, in collaboration with the US Space Force, has an eye on re-establishing human presence on the Moon and the construction of a permanent base there. The Artemis program will also include other major space entities in Western Europe and Japan. The program's first flight, Artemis 1, was an uncrewed orbiting mission conducted from November to December 2022. Artemis 2, a crewed flyby of the Moon, is scheduled for September 2025 and will be the first crewed flight beyond low Earth orbit since 1972. Unless someone beats NASA there, of course. The Chinese National Space Administration, CNSA, has its own plans for lunar occupancy in the form of a proposed International Lunar Research Station, ILRS. Unfortunately, the country's main partner in the initiative, Russia, is a bit divided given the war with Ukraine. The other countries that have signed memorandums of understanding for ILRS are largely novices in the space industry. Other signatories, like the UAE's University of Sharjah, are not countries at all, which suggests that the CNSA may yet lose more prospective partners to the Artemis program. Another subnational entity that is, for now at least, squarely on NASA's side of the 21st century lunar race is SpaceX. The company is collaborating with NASA to develop a human landing system, HLS, for the Starship, which undertook its third test flight on the 14th of March this year. 8 more test flights are planned for 2024. The Starship, which has a super heavy booster stage with 33 Raptor engines, runs on a liquid methane and liquid oxygen propellant. The secondary stage has 6 engines. The Starship and HLS are expected to be ready for lunar action by 2026 in time for Artemis 3. The plan is to land astronauts near the lunar South Pole. While SpaceX's Starship HLS will be integral to getting humans back on the Moon, Musk believes it could play an even bigger role in helping humans settle on the Moon permanently. Early in January 2024, the company's CEO boldly tweeted that the vessel would enable a permanently occupied moon base and even a city on the Moon one day. But just how would that work? Well, for starters, by adhering to SpaceX's philosophy of reusability and cost-effectiveness. Unlike the typical Starship we've seen during the test launches and rehearsals, the Starship HLS is not designed for atmospheric re-entry. It doesn't have the typically large wings and heat shield tiling of a standard Starship because there is no atmosphere on the Moon that the ship would need protection from. Knowing Elon, it's likely that he would prefer to repurpose the HLS vessels after their work for NASA, rather than have them drift aimlessly through space. It's not difficult to imagine the lunar Starship finding a second job as the first building block of a moon base. However, the potential impracticality of such a conversion could render it impossible. Therefore, theoretically, the first step to converting a Starship to a permanent segment of a moon base would be to tip it onto its side so the interior volume can be utilized better. This could be done using lunar rovers pulling on the nose cone or powerful winches anchored into the Moon's surface. The second step is probably the least realistic of this theoretical moon base, but it's still worth consideration. This step would be a complete overhaul of the entirety of the ship's insides and reorientation from vertical to horizontal. The main hope here is that robot and drone technology will be advanced enough to conduct most of the heavy lifting and risk-taking in case anything goes pear-shaped. After demolishing the pre-existing floors and removing the propellant tanks, there would be a sizable cylinder to refashion. A single-story open plan is the simplest way forward, as it would be cost-effective and provide high ceilings to prevent claustrophobia for residents. A single floor could be lined along the bottom, and the narrow space below it could be used for long-term storage. Back on the theoretical new floor, segments could be established for various use cases. A bedding area, bathroom and sanitation area, fitness and wellness area, recreation area, and research and observation area are some of the primary needs. The most effective solution would be to cover the horizontal ship in a thick layer of lunar soil, known as regolith. The safest way would be to use a layer that is about 16 feet thick, which should protect against cancer-causing radiation and small space rocks. Ultimately, such an endeavour would require the assistance of multiple crews of people and a lot of supplies. Luckily, lunar starships will be more reliable and have a more consistent cadence of one launch per day, allowing for greater collaboration to make the first steps of Moonbase Alpha a reality. There is even the possibility of connecting multiple horizontal starships via their nose cones. If you really think about it, establishing a moon base is the best way SpaceX can rehearse for a potential Mars landing down the line. It would also reveal problems that would otherwise prove irreparable on faraway Mars. We can't wait to see what Musk & Co. have coming down the pipeline. That brings us to the end of today's video. Thank you again for watching, and we hope you like the content and share it with your friends. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and keep it locked here so you don't miss out on more awesome space news. Bye for now.